doesn't one day surpass that number, there's no chance that he could enter the conversation for the greatest player of all time. But before he worries about MJ, he has to worry about Shaq, as the 1999 season would be an opportunity to set the stage for what's to come. As shown before, Shaq has 4 titles in real life, but if we match his years played to Wemby, he has 0 to this point, meaning that Victor is not only ahead of Shaq, but also entering Shaq's championship and prime years. We could be seeing a lot of success from Wemby, all starting with the turn of the century, where Wemby's co-star has officially arrived. As Kobe Bryant has developed into a legit superstar to the tune of 28 points per game. He was slightly underdeveloped in his first few seasons, but those days are over, as both he and Wemby have formed a duo that seemed to be the title favorites. And when you combine it with the absence of Michael Jordan, the two would storm past the Clippers, Timberwolves, and Sonics to make it back to the finals, now meeting the one-man army of Allen Iverson and the Philadelphia 76ers, who wouldn't stand a chance at all. His 6-foot frame wouldn't be able to outplay the craziest combination of size and skill in league history, and when you combine it with the Mamba mentality, the Lakers are easily walking away with the championship, now giving Wemby 3 compared to Shaq's 4. And if it wasn't obvious already, it's about to get scary, man. Wemby and Kobe. But if you thought they would go one and done, you're completely mistaken. As in real life, this would be the start of 3 straight titles for Shaq and Kobe, meaning that the championships could start flooding in for Wemby as we enter the 2011 season. But just as it was when Shaq played, Kobe wouldn't just be satisfied with the title. He wants to be the greatest of all time. And in order to do so, he'll first have to cement himself as the best player on the team. So going into the regular season, we would see a different Kobe. As well as 28 points per game last year was elite, he's now up to 35, on his way to his first MVP award. Without a doubt, the two are already one of the greatest duos ever, but only one can hold the title as the best player on the team. Eventually, we'll find out who it is, but with the two being so good, it's no surprise that we see the Lakers in the finals again, surprisingly going up against New York, unsurprisingly ending with the duo's second straight championship. Wemby has now tied Shaq's career totals in titles in basically half the time, while Kobe's ultimately cementing himself as the face of the team.
And the winner of the Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP is none other than Kobe Bryant.
So of course, coming off 2 straight titles with 2 MVPs on the same team, the Lakers seem to be primed to three-peat. But while there's not really much to complain about, the only thing that really might come up is Wemby being at risk of being overshadowed by another bald shooting guard. But on the other hand, Wemby's a former MVP himself, and now at the age of 29, he's still in his prime, so while a lot of attention has been put on Kobe, don't count him out. He's up to 30 points, 11 boards, and 7 assists, which is ultimately helping him surpass Kobe, bringing him MVP 2 to also surpass Shaq. But their success is of course not ending there, because after breezing past the first few playoff rounds, he would help drive the Lakers back to the finals where they go up against Philly for a second time. And just as it was back then, he would see the Lakers come out on top, successfully completing the three-peat just as it played out in real life, giving Wemby 5 titles to Shaq's 4, with Jordan's 6 on the horizon. He'll not only have a chance to pass him up in the 2003 season, but he'll also have the chance to four-peat. But while Wemby's at the top of the world, he would experience some adversity for the first time in a while. All starting with the fact that he's now in his age 30 season, meaning that he might be on the back end of his prime and that his days as a number 1 option might be coming to an end. In addition, he also has a couple other Hall of Famers that he'll share the court with, but that inevitably means that one day he's going to have to part ways with Kobe. But even worse than that, or at least for now, while the West playoffs haven't been notable for a couple years now, Wemby might be going up against his toughest opponent since Jordan in the conference finals, as he's ironically heading to San Antonio to face an iconic big man duo who seem to be well equipped to stop him. David Robinson's really old, but Tim Duncan, he's as good as ever. Probably one of the few people that can actually check Wemby and actually make it hard on him. And that unique situation where they have 2 Hall of Fame 7-footers is the first that Wemby's really had to deal with, as the veteran savvy and strength of David Robinson and the fundamentals of Tim Duncan would shine through. Wemby's avoided this duo for a while now, but it's finally coming back to bite him. While Kobe would have no problems, Wemby would struggle. And while Kobe was putting up 40-point games, Wemby would be the one falling way short. And while Kobe was putting the team on his back, Wemby would be hurting it. as the Spurs would be taking a 3-2 lead in the series, pushing the Lakers to the brink of elimination. Wemby's had no problems with any center to this point, or any big man, except for Tim Duncan. And while ideally for Wemby this would go to Game 7, it would get wrapped up on the road in San Antonio pretty quickly. And this one's over. We're not seeing a four-peat. The Spurs have won. All good things must come to an end, I guess. It's the first time in a while that the Wemby and Kobe duo have fallen short, dating all the way back to when Michael Jordan was still in the league. But even worse than that, it would spell out some serious consequences that go just beyond this finals. With Wemby entering his age 31 season and his contract set to expire, the Lakers GM has made it clear that he's breaking up the team after the following season, which officially means that despite all of their success, it's the last dance for the Wemby and Kobe duo. The two have brought 3 titles to LA just like in real life and a combined 2 MVPs to the city. But Wemby has a chance to outperform Shaq even more if he can bring a 4th title to LA. But considering his no-show in last year's playoffs, it's far from a guarantee. It goes without saying that the 2004 season will without a doubt be the most important that Wemby will ever play. So for those reasons, we're going to skip past it for now and revisit